In 1997, a then unknown Danish pop group called Aqua achieved international success with their song Barbie Girl. The track made such an impression that in 2011, Rolling Stone magazine awarded it the unfortunate accolade of the worst song of the 90s as voted by its readers. Love it or hate it, the song topped charts around the world and in the UK became the fourth biggest selling song of the entire 90s decade. And in 2022, the video joined a very exclusive club of iconic 90s music videos when it reached 1 billion views on YouTube, which is surely testament to the song's enduring appeal or that people still love to hate it. So whatever did happen to Aqua? How did they form in the first place? How did they write Barbie Girl? Why did Barbie's manufacturer Mattel sue the band? Which of the bandmates dated and which ended up getting married and later divorcing? So many questions, let's find out. The first part of the Aqua story took place in the late 80s when Klaus and Soren first met when they were both in their late teens. The two shared the dream of making music and succeeding in the industry, so they moved in together and set about realizing their goals. From the outset, Klaus and Soren knew they weren't vocalists, so they would need to find some. Klaus and Soren called their music group at the time Joyspeed. Firstly, they knew they needed a rapper and they ran into a guy called René one day when they were working in a studio. René Diff was a DJ who liked to rap during sets and the trio started working together in 1993. Soon after that, René, who was working as a DJ on a boat that travelled between Denmark and Norway, met a Norwegian girl called Lena who was also working there as a game show hostess. René introduced her to the other two bandmates who were impressed with her vocals. René and Lena also became an item for a few years in the mid-90s. Lena's sweet-sounding vocals and René's growling rap voice proved to be a winning combination, and collectively the four got along and seemed to have great musical chemistry. Their first release, Itsy Bitsy Spider, in 1995 on a small Swedish label didn't do anything anywhere. You can still listen to it on YouTube and you'll probably see why. It wasn't up to the standards that they would soon reach. The band left the small label and soon signed with Universal Records Denmark. Record labels wasn't the only change they made around this time. The band's sound really started to evolve as they began to use a Roland JV-2080, a synthesizer which could reproduce the sound of organic instruments like piano and saxophone and which helped to reinvigorate the band's sound. So it was actually Soren who first came up with the idea of writing a song all about the legendary American Doll, and the spark of inspiration came to him when he went to an art exhibition in a Copenhagen shop. Part of the exhibition was a planet made out of Barbie dolls, and the idea for the world-conquering song was born. It made me think, life in plastic, it's fantastic. I thought that was a great line. Then I wrote, come on Barbie, let's go party. It was Klaus who changed the song from major to minor chords, and everyone in the band contributed lyrics. Lena had this to say about writing the song. I just remember a few brief moments from the studio, but we knew we really had something worth gold on our hands. At the time of the song's release and in the many years since, critics and writers alike have spent much time dissecting the lyrics and debating what exactly the statement was that the band were trying to make with the song. Lena and Soren both say that they never intended for it to be taken too seriously. We were not really trying to make a statement, we were just trying to write a fun song. We wanted to take the piss out of that kind of perfect girl. We didn't say it very often, but that was the main thing behind it. The video also played a huge part in helping it become the iconic 90s song it is today and really solidified Barbie Girl as the perfect pop package. It was shot in 2 days in an old wine warehouse in Copenhagen and was one of acclaimed directors Peter Peterson's first videos. The concept for the video, as you may already have guessed, was basically Barbie doing Barbie things and then everyone goes to a party at the end. His references for the video included Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones and the Beastie Boys Spike Jonze directed video Sabotage. And it turns out the two actors who played Barbie and Ken in the video were actually a real life couple who ended up getting married and having 4 kids together. In Rolling Stone magazine in 2022, Lena talked about the dreams the bandmates had for themselves before becoming famous. All of us wanted to make our mark on Norway and Denmark. It was like a bad omen thinking anything bigger than that. We are very modest in Scandinavia. It's a different culture where you can't say your dreams out loud. And the timing was perfect for Aqua. Pop music such as the Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys were dominating the charts around the world. When the song was released in late summer, early autumn 1997, it went to #1 all around the world, including Germany and Australia. It became the second biggest selling song of the year in the UK, just behind Elton John's Candle in the Wind. And in September 97, the song debuted at #7 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was a momentous feat as very few Scandinavian music acts, let alone Danish acts, ever break through in America. An European artist cracking America was much rarer in the 90s before the World Wide Web made sharing and promoting music much easier. In America, Aqua are still considered one-hit wonders, even though that isn't the case elsewhere in the world. Lollipop Candyman, the follow-up to Barbie Girl in the US, only reached #23 in the charts over there, and that pretty much ended Aqua's mainstream music career stateside. The band themselves did not agree with this single choice, but they didn't have much influence over the decision at the time. Internationally, songs such as My Oh My and Turn Back Time helped them to clock up more hits, and Dr. Jones went to #1 in the UK, Australia and Italy. Turn Back Time, a classic pop ballad, marked a departure from the band's bubblegum sound and showed that Aqua were a lot more than just a novelty pop act. Incidentally, it is my favourite song of theirs, and in my humble opinion it is one of the great songs of the 90s that seems to have mostly been forgotten about. Mattel filed a lawsuit against the band and their record label in 1997, making multiple claims including trademark infringement. Mattel also expressed concern about the sexually suggestive lyrics of the song. The lawsuit dragged on for years and ultimately ended up in the United States Court of Appeal, 9th Circuit in 2002. The judge ruled in favour of Aqua and their record label and ended his opinion with the advice, "The parties are advised to chill." Wise words. In 2009, Mattel actually licensed the song for one of its ad campaigns but changed some of its provocative lyrics. The band launched their second album in early 2000. The lead single, Cartoon Heroes, was a minor hit in some countries, but overall the album fell far short of its predecessor's success and the band took an extended break in 2001. The same year, Lena and Soren got married and went on to have 2 children together. After Lena started writing for other artists and co-wrote Girls Aloud 2003 hit No Good Advice. She also made an attempt at a solo career in 2003 with the questionably entitled album Play With Me, featuring the single It's Your Duty, but neither made much of an impression on the charts. The band reunited in 2008 to go on tour. They released the greatest hits the following year and their first new song in 8 years, Back to the 80s, which was a #1 in their home country. In 2011, they released Megalomania, their first full album of new material in over 10 years. In 2016, they reunited again, but this time as a 3-piece, as Klaus had left the group as he felt the band's musical direction was no longer for him. Lena has been a judge on The Voice of Denmark and Norway in recent years, and in between performing with the band, René still DJs and also has his own food company Diff Food, a snack and salsa brand which is stocked widely throughout Denmark. In 2017, Lena and Soren divorced amicably after 16 years of marriage and continue to perform together in the band and even live in the same apartment building. They released a new song, Rookie, in 2018, and they continue to perform at 90s concerts around the world. With their bubblegum sound and cartoon image, Aqua briefly conquered the international music industry, and whilst they might not have been to everyone's liking, there is no denying they've left an indelible mark on 90s pop culture. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts on anything in this video, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other videos.